So come on in, take a sip, let's wind down. It's a Tuesday. It took me a while to figure that out earlier. Thought it was Wednesday for some reason. One of those long days, it's already late, so I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. And today, since it's so late getting home, in fact, I mean, usually at this time you've already got the crossword posted, and I know there are some that watch it immediately, and so I had to get up extremely early this morning. I headed to the office for about an hour and a half before I headed to Stuttgart, which is, you know, a good 4 or 5 hours the other direction. And then coming back this afternoon. So it's just been a very, very long day, and I apologize for that. We're just having ourselves a Venezia Select cocktail because honestly, it was just, let's just go home and make something and let's get in front of this grid and get it out of the way today, right? Because I want to get these uploaded as soon as possible for you guys because, you know, I understand that we're supposed to be on somewhat of a schedule. So nevertheless, let's go ahead and hop into our grid. Got to have my solver's courage first. But let's get into it. Let's see what we got. So we are on quick crossword number 17112. And I have it caught this way. I had a few comments from some of our viewers that, and you all mean the world to me. So any suggestions you have, any issues, let me know. Maybe we can tweak it. We've kind of tweaked the grid to look like this so that you can catch all the clues, but at the same time, maybe see a bit better. And since I have to have, it's not like the New York Times, which will display the clue in the top tab above the grid itself. They kind of move along the side, and so therefore I kind of have to use a larger area, and I'm trying to make it as big as possible for that. But I hope you understand that doing everything we can to make this accessible, really, right? You know, from a mobile device to the television set. And so again, just doing the best I can. But if you have any suggestions whatsoever, just let me know. I'm happy to jump into them. All right. So, I mean, I am. This is about our community. It's not mine. It's ours. So well, let's see what I can do to make it better. Okay, so as an example, dad's mom and mom's dad. 12. Dad's mom, mom's dad. Grandparents? Maybe? Called it a day. Stopped working. Could be retired. Semiquavers and minims would be notes. I've always held that it helps to be a musician. That's a big part of these crosswords right there, right? You know, if you're a musician and you really like, say, Greek and Roman mythology, then you're already doing pretty good, right? You know, that right there would help a lot. Olfactory organ could be a nose, and an enophilic. After all, you got to have a good nose for wines, or good taste, one or the other. Authentic cis, anagram, rah-rah. Authentic cis, so got an N here. It's looking like it's going to be enthusiastic. Let me see if I can get anything to corroborate. So in pain could be hurt. And I think I got enough here. I've always had a kind of a talent for spotting stuff like this, you know, looking at anagrams and figuring out what they are. I don't know what that is. I mean, it's not even a talent. Maybe it's just normal. But nevertheless, it's something that I can do. So that one came pretty easy. Sometimes they don't. And I'll often say, like, I'm not going to try to bore you by sitting here staring at this for 3 minutes. But that one just kind of worked. Authentic cis was a really good clue. Without warning could be sudden. And interim. Well, I can't fit temporary in there, so we'll see what we get on that. That might be a real hanger-upper for us. Become red, or become green. And I don't think I understand the red part, but I think... I mean, I guess I do. I mean, it could be a tomato. I'm thinking it's ripen is my point. I was thinking maybe it meant something else. Like maybe the British used the term ripen for maybe angering or becoming more irate. But you have a lot of fruits that turn red and some that turn green. So I don't know. Systematized. And this could be arranged, I suppose. But I don't feel comfortable with that just jumping in there like that. Adding 10% perhaps could be tipping. Paid attention. Like tomato puree. That's clever. Okay, I think this is concentrated. And interim. Okay, so elevation or stature could be height. And so what does that tell me here? Yeah, I think it's probably arranged. I don't really know what else I could put in there for right now. Interim. Interim. Maybe meantime? Trying to check myself as I go. I mean, it kind of smarted the other day. I don't mind getting a yank slap out of these things, but when it's over something as dumb as a typo, that hurts, right? You know, like, you did that to yourself. I mean, it's like yank slapping myself. That's like friendly fire, you know? That's no bueno, right? It's just, most populous continent. And I do believe that would be Asia. So, bone in your bonce. See, you know, I learned this very early on in my guardian journey here, right? I know what a bonce is. It's also a nut. Like duck your nut. I've learned, you know, my head. So my bonce, my nut. So this would be a skull. And let's see. Leaves for lunch. The U blank E. It's going to surely be lettuce. And I got to thank my friend Neil and also Colossal Percy, both of them, between the two of them, I have been really pleased. I've learned so much. I was concerned a while back that lettuce might be a term that you use to describe money in England, but neither felt that was maybe the case. If it was, that it would be something they were unfamiliar with. I mean, it's just so nice to have people who are dedicated to helping me understand, right? You know, and my Aussie friends are also really cool about that too, right? So I'm loving that. Astonish could be to stun. I do. I love my Anglo-Norman community up in the Guardian sector, right? It just makes me so happy to have y'all around. So as an example, one across. Oh, I have no idea. In an unexpected manner. I don't know just yet. Location by the byway. Lesser in stature. It seems... I don't know. I mean, that's a crazy one. It's 7 letters. Beneath? I mean, I don't know yet. Shoe or short crust? And this would be pastry. Pastry dough. So maybe shorter? See if it lines up. I'm starting to feel pretty good about everything. The only thing I'm worried about now is if I've fat fingered something. I really hope I haven't. Location by the byway. I don't know. Material for ties. Now that would be nylon. So no, I don't think it's shorter. It's not. So okay, let's go back. Let's see if we can get nylon in there. See if we can fix this. And that's assuming grandparents are right. But how could it not be? We got dad's mom and mom's dad. I mean, these are your grandparents, right? So maybe instead of shorter, we got smaller. And if you had smaller originally, like you said, oh, that's smaller, then I'm sorry. I mean, maybe I'm a little dense today. Maybe it's because I've been up forever. Been on the road all day. Location by the byway. So I'm going to go with road something. I just don't know what. I mean, I don't even know if road's right. In an unexpected manner. Looks like it could be surprisingly. Surprisingly. One kept in Zenda or Azkaban, and that would be a prisoner. Is this a roadside? Let's try it. Oh, that would make grandparents perhaps adults. Because for a minute there, I don't know, what in the heck could this be? You know, like, is there another word? I was thinking, like, is this an adult or something? Or what's the word I don't know out of the British vernacular? But outside of the Bonce clue, everything here that I read and all of the answers are things that Yanks and Brits we share. So this was a very... I now guarantee you 99% of Americans will not know what a bonce is. I just promise you that. 99%. If I'm wrong, it's because it's 98.9%. I mean, it's just not a term we use. But I think this is a pretty cool grid. And now my fingers are crossed that I didn't fat finger something. Let's go ahead and do our check all. I would love to have a two-peat, but really for once, can we have a great Wednesday? Can I just have a three-peat? Can we just... For once, been doing this for a long time. We're coming up on a year of me doing The Guardian, right? I want to have a win. So still got to thank you, Clill Benton H. Wow. Thank you for turning me on to The Guardian. You're a fine Brit. You're a fine person. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. One of the early community members here. Okay, I'm starting to get hopeful. You'll see him just do this a whole bunch of times until I feel good that it's okay. I do not see any spaces. If I missed one, please do feel free to reach out and destroy my world. But otherwise, I am very excited about this. I am beaming uncontrollably. Just try not to beam too much. I don't want to look like I'm gloating, because I am absolutely not. This is the hardest project I have ever organized part of my life around, ever. Is doing the Guardian grid, because this has been such a journey, and it's been a lot of learning. But I can tell you right now, if it gets to where I'm doing regular three-peats and beyond, then it will be time for me to move up to, I think y'all have the cryptic, and that's going to be a journey in and of itself. But I think starting with the quick crossword, and having almost spent a year doing them, I think it may be time for me to take this to a new level. Or perhaps it's just that I've been running into a spate of some grids that have just been a bit easier, maybe geared more towards my level, or maybe my education, because things have been pretty easy for me to come up with, things that I just might know. And so that's something to consider as well. But yeah, this has been a great journey. It really has been, but I think it might be time for us to move up pretty soon. And I don't know when it's going to be, but I think if we ever get a three-peat, that'll be the clue that it's time to maybe move up and start taking on, the maybe more challenging stuff. So it might be more interesting, or it might be a total killer, but I'm really looking forward to giving it a shot and seeing what happens when we're ready to go. But I don't want to jump to that level until we're ready. And my phone is going nuts here, so okay. Well, that's Shotzi, so I better get this thing ended and wrap this up. A beautiful grid. Thank you so much to the setter. We'll bring down our Bannier d'Adieu, which we just did. And nevertheless, just want to say to the setter, fantastic job. It was a beautiful grid. Sir, ma'am, sir, fantastic. And until we see you tomorrow, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch, einen schönen Nacht noch, einen schönen Abend noch. Be good to yourselves, your friends, your neighbors, of course. Be very, very good to the people behind you in line. These are very trying times right now, and everyone is just, I don't know. It's just, everybody's on edge. No one knows what to do. And I understand that, and it's just a little nerve-wracking, and I get it. So the best thing we can do right now is be kind to one another as best as we can, and remember that we all share the same DNA, basically. Right? All right. Until we see you on the morrow. Be well.